My name is Ginger Broderick, and I'm the host of the Ginger New York TV show. Welcome to Ginger Fridays here at M&N TV Studios. We're live here in New York City, and we want to welcome the viewers from My Jam Music Network. We're all around the world, so thank you so much for tuning in today. We have Mantis in the house. It is a band from Brooklyn that is well known from the 70s as a top 10 Billboard dance band. They have regrouped for a 40-year anniversary CD album. Welcome.
Cool. Hello.
Thank Billy.
Thank you for having us.
And Jim.
Yes.
And
Frankie.
And Kaz.
You're the guitarist, the singer, and
bass player.
So, and you're a drummer. I'm a drummer fan, so everybody knows that I'm a drummer fan. Everyone, this is Billy. He is the editor-at-large of Modern Drummer magazine, so he's like the god of drummers here in the house today.
Thank you.
Pretty cool. So you guys were this really popular, band back in the 70s, and I understand you were more pop rock, and then you got into dance and disco. How did that happen?
Who wants to?
Frankie?
Well, basically, at that time coming up, we were a cover band, so we were doing top 40 material, and so disco music was making its way into top 40, so we were playing that anyway. And then we had an opportunity to record original dance music, so we went for it.
Good.
Yeah.
And you guys were kind of like in your 20-something, right? But you were a little bit on the younger side.
Well, just by a couple of years.
Yeah, by a couple of years?
Yeah.
We were actually all 1 year apart.
We're catching up now. But back then, when we went on the road for the first time, I was 14.
Now, how do your parents, allow for that? I mean, I've met some people where they're the Deadheads, and they followed Grateful Dead from the West Coast to the East Coast, and I'm like, how do your parents allow you to do that?
Our parents were great. They were great. They were just so open, and they were excited to see us be so excited about our work and playing music. And I mean, we played from the beginning. We were playing block parties in Brooklyn and
high school
and
dances.
we stayed together from way back when. So
and you've been friends all these years too.
Stayed friends.
Like 40 years.
Friends.
So you have this new album out called Established 1976, right?
Yep.
And so I had to ask myself, where was I in 1976? I was still in high school. And I watched Saturday Night Fever like 100 times, and I thought, I'm getting myself to Brooklyn, So it's really cool for me to meet all of you guys because you were all in that era.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Pleasure to be here.
Good for you. So what made you guys all decide, like you guys were together, for 5 or 6 years, I guess, up until 82?
Well, me and Frankie were together from 1972, and then around 74, we got John Kaz into the band, and then in 75, we got Jimmy.
Okay.
And then we were called Gypsy for a short period of time, and we were still playing rock music. And then as we were going over to the dance side in 1976, because this was the lineup that we were happy with, we changed the name of the band to Mantis.
Okay, very good.
And that's when we started really getting in 76, 77. 77, we actually played CBGB's. We were still playing rock, and we did that whole CBGB's festival with the Ramones and Blondie, but we kind of didn't really, we were still doing rock, but we weren't a punk rock band, so we kind of didn't fit in. And then right after that, we got the opportunity to do a dance record, and we did.
And it took off.
And it took off, which we were all kind of like...
The rest is history.
Because I grew up in the Midwest. I was the only one in my town that liked disco, and I would have to go into Chicago in order to hear the music. And, so it surprises me that a lot of people like disco.
Here in New York, disco was a big thing.
Yeah.
We got to play a lot of the major clubs, Studio 54.
Good for you.
Places like
Funhouse. John Jellybean Benitez.
Oh, yeah. He's still around.
He's still around. Actually, he's been all over the place now. Our first record was his first record. So he mixed.
Oh, you're kidding.
He mixed and edited our first record.
Dancer Freestyle.
Dancer Freestyle.
Oh, isn't that
And then he worked on the album.
Which Dancer Freestyle at the time was when KTU picked it up and hit the chart.
Madonna probably wasn't around yet. She was more in the 80s.
No, she came in a little bit later. Madonna was running the elevator in Danceteria at that time.
Oh, was she really? That's so funny. So I understand your son, Matty
Yes.
Amendola, is your producer. Now, what's that like to have your son, like, working on you? Because he's kind of calling the shots, I think, as a producer.
Yes, he did. For this album, he called all the shots. And, you know, he's my son. Of course, he's super talented. So I let some of these guys take it over because, you know.
Well, the great thing about it is that Matty is coming at it with a fresh attitude. He's current. He's applying, you know, the stylings and the, you know, all the gear and all of that, and he's utilizing it and creating a sound that we could never do on our own. You know, we wrote the songs, and it could go in many different directions until it gets under production. So we were very, very happy with the work he did.
Yeah, we actually let him take them.
Yeah.
He felt it, and he took it his way, and we were enjoying it. And it was another opportunity for us to hear our music take another step. It's always interesting.
And he did co-write. He did co-write with us on a lot of the songs because we wrote, the first day we got together and he heard that we were getting the band back, he was like, oh yeah, Dad's getting the band back together. And then we got together that day and I think we wrote 12 songs that first day.
Did you really?
And then I think 6 out of those 12 wound up on the album. Then we got together again with Matty and we wrote another bunch of songs, and then we decided on the 9 songs that were going to be on the record.
Oh, wasn't that
And he,
something?
you know, he played guitar on some of the stuff, keyboards, percussion.
Because he's a producer professionally as well.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Now
And he has a small independent label, which is how we released the record, actually.
Well, good for you. That's pretty exciting. And it's wonderful that you're supportive of him, too. Tell us more about your new music. What made you, like, what are some of the stories behind it? That's a lot to write so many songs in one day.
Yeah.
Was
Well,
it a
After
theme?
so many years, the songs are built up. We all have an idea or two.
Yeah. We actually have a catalog of material that has yet to be really recorded properly.
You mean
and,
back from the 80s, 70s and 80s?
Yeah, from back then up until now.
Because you guys have been friends all these years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And did you write it all during that time?
Always right.
we always did.
Oh,
Still
you
right.
did?
We always
do.
did. Yeah, that's our main focus is we were always songwriters. All of us wrote. So we weren't one of those bands who like, well, Jimmy only had 2 songs on the record. I had 4 songs on the record. Frankie had 6 songs on it. We all, the chemistry between us was, we just, being that we all did write, the chemistry with us is we were able to write together as a songwriting team, which now is like one of the biggest things in Nashville. They have all these songwriting teams, and
Well, I go-
you know, and that's basically what our thing was. We always, the song was the most important thing.
Well, isn't that something? See, I never paid attention to that, but since I started learning the guitar, we started focusing on songwriting. And I've gone to songwriter circles, and I can see all the work that you do.
Yeah.
You know, with all-
Billy, how many songs we have now?
Yeah, we have a few hundreds. I mean,
Do you really?
Hundreds of.
We have a 40-year catalog.
We have a 40-year catalog. And yesterday we were in the studio all day. We wrote 3 new songs, and
I can't believe that you're hitting them up, that, you know, because I think that they take time, like years or months.
yeah, no, we
Because you have a style.
We have that down.
yeah, we do have it down.
There's a certain magic to being able to be respectful to each other and allow an idea to come in from other people. Because when you play something, somebody may hear something. And then we go with it and we try it, but we try everything. We're very fair. And at the end, we all want the major product. We want that song to be a song. And that's what it's about, to be able to sit back and say, okay.
Do you guys fight when you're writing these songs together?
It's not fighting, because we've been doing it for so long. It's not
Yeah.
fighting anymore. I think we have it
Yeah,
down.
we have
That's
it.
what
Yeah,
makes
we
You
it-
have
stopped
it
fighting
down.
at seven,
Yeah, it's
7
not
years or
fighting.
something?
Actually, even when we were younger, we never really fought.
Really?
You know, there's a synergy
that's
that
one of-
happens
It's
where
like,
everyone
and it's
is
civil, you know, like brothers. We would argue like brothers, but most of the time it wouldn't be about music.
We disagree on some of the ideas, but we work it out, we compromise, and, you know. So
Try it all.
And one thing I like to say, I'd like to give a shout out to our engineer, Butch Jones, because Butch Jones yesterday recorded us, and Butch recorded our first album.
Oh, my
So
goodness.
he actually
Yeah.
recorded mostly everything that we've ever done. And he's still our engineer to this day, and he's Matty's engineer at 825. So it kind of went full circle.
And he's well known as a Grammy winner himself, and
he's
working with
he's
Madonna,
worked with Madonna and
Talking Heads.
and Stones,
B-52, yeah.
B-52.
Oh, with
He's been having a
Stones
good
too.
time.
He's been,
Wow.
And he's a great guy. He's one
Now,
of
are you all still in the music industry? I know you are, but I'm not sure with all the rest of you. Do you? Is this more of a hobby for you at this point in your life?
Well, we have daytime jobs, you know, to supplement our income. We all have families and such, but at the same time, we keep a hand in the music side of it because, you know, you don't choose music, it chooses you. So we're there, you know, we're plugging away. I'd like to, while I'm on the point, I wanted to tell all the music supervisors out there and song pluggers, get in touch with us because, as I said before, we've got a catalog of material and we're interested in licensing it out. There you go.
Where do we find you?
Website.
MantusOnline.com.
Yep.
And Mantis is spelled M-A-N-T-U-S.
That's
And
great.
we have a Facebook page. That's Mantis, established 1976.
Right.
And
Cool.
I think Maddie set up an Instagram and Twitter, but we never use it.
You're over
But
50 is a little challenging, right?
You could pretty much find us.
But it sounds, yeah. You find it on all the social media outlets?
Yeah, you could and Facebook, you know, I
Yeah.
love social media.
I'm sorry?
I love social media.
It's
think
really,
I
I
think it's a
enjoy
good
it.
thing. Social
Yeah, it
media's a
really
good thing.
connects you to learn about different people.
Yeah.
I don't like to think that I'm a stalker on everybody, but I do enjoy following you, and your page, your personal page that you have is really fun. I follow you professionally with your work, and you did a recent interview with Sean Lennon, and I want to commend you on that.
Thank you.
That was
a
wonderful.
fun. That was fun.
I didn't
Good
know
job,
he was.
Billy. Good
I
job.
didn't know he was a drummer. You know.
He's a
and-
great drummer.
Wow, that's awesome. What are the influences that you've had? Is there any particular artist out there or band that's been a big influence on you?
Grew up with the classic rock bands.
Okay.
You know,
We're all
Yeah,
kind
we
of the
were all
same.
pretty much into Frankie. He turned us on to a lot of music because he would get a record and come down and he'd go, "You guys got to hear this," and then we would all sit down and listen to that album and then learn songs from that album.
Okay.
But we were all pretty much into the same, you know, the Beatles, of course,
Yeah.
Zeppelin, Deep Purple.
Yeah.
See, I felt I was a little on the younger side with that, so I was stuck at kind of in the early Beatles era. But I had an older brother who was into rock bands and Vanilla Fudge. And
Carmine.
We just heard Carmine recently.
did you?
Played, yes. We hung out
Yeah.
with him at the cutting room.
Oh, that's awesome.
We love Carmine.
So when I saw that Vanilla Fudge was playing here in New York City, I just rubbed it into my brother. And then when I went and listened to the band, I was like, oh my God, I listened to all their music in the 70s. I didn't realize, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I didn't realize.
And they were
that-
responsible for making Led Zeppelin popular in this country.
Wow.
So
Isn't that something? Well, I think it would be a good time to show our audience some of the music your current music. You
Cool.
Right.
were at the cutting room recently, I understand, and
yeah, we did a private party for May Pang
uh-huh.
for her birthday, and we opened up the party that night.
That's awesome. And was that kind of the first time you guys performed together?
No, we performed before at her barbecue over the
Okay.
summer. That was just get up and play kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
And then we had fun, and everybody was genuinely surprised of how good it was. So everybody was like, "Wow, you guys should play. You should play." And that wasn't our goal, you know, to put out an album and go on tour and play. But for certain things like this, we'll make special appearances here and there.
Awesome.
So we're called Mantis. We're not exactly the new kids on the block. We're the next to new kids on the block. Something like that. Thank you all for coming out and celebrating May's birthday. This is always a fun time here at the cutting room. And you all look like wonderful people. You all look like beautiful people. You all having a good time, right? Yeah. All right, I'm wrong. What's more than a vision? Try to see my Don't fall for a man like me. I told you once, twice, so many times. Don't fall in love with a man like me. This man's on a mission, chasing your lies. 'Cause you got your way, it seems. This girl has her ways and means. You see, sometimes you find them dancing on a string, tying the knot without. Believe me, that you can do it. I told you once, twice, 3 times. Don't fall for a man like me. I told you once, twice, so many times. Don't fall in love with a man like me. Falling in love may not be right and it may not be wrong. Treasure your I told her once, twice, 3 times. I told her once, twice, so many times. Don't fall in love with a man like me. I told her so many times. I told her once, twice, so many times. I told her so many times, but she just wouldn't listen. Put your hands together if you want to, but do it around. You got the smile I think about you. You got the style I can't live without you. You got the body I dream about to take me away.
Who are those guys?
Look at you, sing it out there
When
like
was
a rock
that?
star.
Look at you go.
It's a long way from disco, right?
I really enjoyed it. I wanted to get up dancing. Like, why don't you guys perform more?
I know.
Yeah, Frankie,
Yeah.
how come you're not performing?
We only do private parties, it
Private
seems.
parties. Well, I want to get invited to the next one. Slip me in the side door or something.
Not a problem. Put that on the list, Bill.
Yeah, and you had a couple of extra band members in that performance,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah, on guitar we had Mike Riddle, who's been a friend of all of ours for over 40 years,
I think that's
45 years. I know
wonderful.
Mikey since I'm 10 years old.
Really?
And he's been involved in every project we do. He's like our go-to studio guy. He's one of the greatest musicians out there. So
He's got it down.
he's got it down. And then we have Rosie Slater from a band called New Myths, and she's playing percussion. She gives us that youthful.
Was she at the Beatles Fest about a year ago with part of your panel? There was a female.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
she was. Yeah.
Very good there.
Yes, she
Yeah.
was.
She had
That's
pink
right.
hair.
You were there. Yeah, she had pink hair that day, right?
I think it's so wonderful that you guys have grown up together and together so all these years.
Right.
And you must have so many stories. You got any secrets on Billy?
Well,
Nothing we can say on the air.
Nothing you can
no,
say on
not at the
air.
moment. We'll talk to you later.
He has very good penmanship.
Not really.
Do you have any stories or secrets you want to share on your bandmates?
Nah.
No. You want to stay friends with them.
Yeah.
But you guys, we all grew up really at a great time.
Yes,
and you
we
were in the
did.
center of the universe at that time. I mean, it took me 10
Yeah.
years to get to New York. And
Right.
I remember driving by, some of the nightclubs in Brooklyn, because I lived in Queens at that time, but Brooklyn was more cool. And I was like, wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
So I've been to some parties now in Brooklyn. It's like, I don't know what I would do as a parent, knowing my kids are running around to raves and
Yeah.
Well,
parties
my
and-
dad was a musician. He played trombone in the big bands,
wow. Okay.
and so he was very into he was very into the music. He used to come down and sit in on our rehearsals and songwriting
Isn't that
sessions and
wonderful?
Critique.
So open. He was a great guy.
And you pass that along to your children, I guess, that allow for that.
We tried.
You try, and how do
We
they feel
try.
about you guys still performing? Because you guys been actually active during all these years.
Well, we
Including
go
music?
in and out, like
In
with each
different
other, but we've
capacities.
all continued playing all along. Like I've played with other people, but then we always come
Oh.
back to do a project.
Right.
Okay.
yeah. Kaz is actually in a band with Mikey, and they play
Classic rock,
they
yeah.
play the Bay Ridge circuit.
Oh, really? Oh, that's wonderful. That's good to hear. I think it's fab. Now, and then just so I understand, you said that you have a catalog of music. Is this from all those 40 years? Like you
Pretty
have
much. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we have a 40-year
Do you
catalog.
do you even record some of that music, or are you just more songwriting?
No,
then?
it's all recorded. Some of it is a lot of it's in demo form, because what we do is we like to write songs very quickly. We
I think it's
get
amazing.
together, we write a song pretty quickly, and then we put it down right away so we don't forget it.
okay.
And then we go back and listen to maybe 10, 20 songs and say, okay, these 5 have been I've been singing these 2. I've been singing these. I like these 2. And then we pick the ones, and then we go back and re-record them and bring them a little bit up to.
Okay.
But
See,
we're having fun.
But we have fun.
I mean, it's just about enjoying the music, and we love songs. And there's a certain feeling you get from after recording a great song, and
I think it's wonderful.
you sit back and you go, look at that go, there you go.
I watched a documentary on the Traveling Wilburys and how
Oh,
they
that
all
was-
got together and, spent, I don't know, time together somewhere in the countryside.
Right.
And they just kind of locked themselves down to,
Yeah, that's
Work together.
Well, that's basically how we do it.
Yeah.
We just get together and then we all just put all our ideas together. Sometimes Jimmy could have a verse and then I'll go, I think I have a chorus for that, and I'll go pull out my phone, listen, and then sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But like, if you break my heart, that just happened. That's it just.
Sometimes songs could be done in 15 minutes because it just flows and we just go with it, and then we record it, put it down, and we know it's done. But right now, we'd love to be able to move it along and help people out. There's people out there
Yeah,
that are looking for good music and songs. We're writing songs, and that's really what we're about. And at this part of our life,
Now, are these songs more for individual
Well,
artists or
yeah,
a
that's
band?
what I was going to say. We have our Mantis songs, and then
Okay.
we have our songs that we just write that may not even be in a genre that we, people that we're
Like
known
country?
for. Well, country, like the song that they played the video, to us, that was the closest we got to, like that's we were calling it our country song, even
Oh,
though it's
okay.
not a country song, because these days, country is 70s rock. So that song, but we're at the stage now where we're writing songs not thinking about them being Mantis songs, but just being songs for whoever.
That's really
Yeah.
awesome.
That's our goal, really.
Well, thank you so much, Billy, and bringing all your
pleasure.
friends, Jimmy,
Pleasure.
Nice seeing you.
Frankie.
Thank you, Ginger.
Oh, thank you, and Kat, right? Yeah, very good.
Thank you for having me today.
Thank you. It's
Yeah,
wonderful
thank
to
you for
have
having
you
us.
come
Finally,
back.
we're here.
Yay! Yeah, it's been in plans for a while. Okay. Well, everyone, my name is Ginger Broderick. I'm the host of the Ginger New York TV show. So thank you so much. We'll see you next week, every Friday afternoon at 2 p.m. Thank you so much. Thank
Cool.
you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless us all. It's Good Friday.